Secretary, Excellencies, and that covers everybody. First, Mr. Secretary, I want to thank you so much for the great honor that you do me by being here and by giving me this opportunity. And I want to thank you for your service to our country. I'd also like to thank my family. I'd like to thank Landai. I'd like to thank Congressman Hyde and Congressman Smith, two great American leaders for whom I've had the great pleasure and honor of being able to work. I'd like to thank Congressman Frank Wolf, who was going to be here and he was ill, who, with Congressman Smith, Congressman Hyde, Secretary Powell, and others, has worked hard, but maybe as hard as anybody, to ensure that American foreign policy will be based on the proposition that what's good is good for America. I'd like also to thank three of my heroes and mentors who could not be with us today because they've been taken away. My grandfather, Grover Joseph Rees, throughout his 103 years on this earth, tried to teach all of his children and grandchildren about honor and about the pleasure that comes from doing your duty and doing it well. Judge Albert Tate, for whom I had the privilege of serving as a law clerk, Judge Tate, he taught me that it doesn't do any good to have a great mind unless you also have a great heart. And he also reminded me frequently that whenever you're in a situation where you're wondering what to say, the right answer is usually the one that would be more likely to get you elected to the police jury in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. And finally, I'd like to thank my uncle, Le Von Tien, who was a great writer and editor, journalist in his home country, and then served as he was a prisoner of conscience for 14 years before finally being able to come to the United States as a refugee, where again he was a writer and a thinker, and he was tragically taken from us almost exactly a year ago at the very young age of 78. And Uncle Tien, he taught me so many things, but he taught me about bravery and courage and patience and balance. And he taught me a lot about how to treat women and about how to treat orchids. I would like to say something about the people of East Timor. You know, I believe in my heart, I believe that in their hearts, the people of every nation believe that their nation is really the greatest one on earth. They all think that. What's interesting and different is the particular reasons why different people from different countries think that theirs is the greatest. For some people, it's about race or ethnic heritage. They believe that because they're the best people on earth, their country's got to be the best country on earth. Others believe that they have forged a unique and uniquely great culture, and it's their culture that makes them great. In the case of a very small number of nations, they believe that what makes their nation great is an idea, the principle, the central principle on which their country was founded. And East Timor, for East Timor, Timor-Leste, like the United States, that principle is the idea of freedom. We live in a time when people around the world are being asked to defer their quest for freedom for all kinds of reasons, to accept hyphenated forms of democracy and similar devices. And yet the people in East Timor, when they were given the opportunity, they chose freedom, pure and simple. They understood what Somerset Maugham said when he said that any people who value anything more than their freedom soon lose that freedom. And the irony is that if it's money or comfort that they value more, they lose that too. And so the people of East Timor have a role to play in the world. They've had this experience that so many people around the world are crying out to understand and to share, that they lived for so many years without freedom, and now they are free. Now they are the masters of their own destiny. And part of the special role that East Timor has in the world is that they are a natural friend, maybe the best natural friend and ally that the United States has anywhere in the world. Because, you know, we may have cultural differences, we may have linguistic differences, there's history and geography that separates us, but fundamentally we are the same people. We are brothers and sisters because we want the same things, we feel the same things, we want to stand for the same things. Both of our nations, the United States and Timor-Leste, are the home of the brave. And by the grace of God, we are both the land of the free. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thanks so much.
Let's go sign you in.
Yes, sir. Thank you.